I thought about the title for this video a lot, I really did. I was pondering it over and over again. And really, it's no exaggeration. Anime made me a better person. And here's why.
Motivate to motivate, spit till I suffocate, very quick to agitate, concentrate till I rate, I'm irate, in a state, my confidence is a trait, success is my motherfucking fate.
Not too long ago, I got my psychology degree from my university, and during which time, my interest in psychology and more specifically, self-development grew immensely during that time. I love the idea of self-improvement to the point where I read loads of self-help works, loads of self-help books, and even created a second channel where on that channel I would talk about content of a similar subject matter, and at the moment I'm still doing videos on it, so link in the description below, check it out. At which time, while I was at university doing my degree, I started to notice recurrent themes within anime characters, and I made my video of psychology in anime series. I only made one video on it, but I made this video down below. Noticing these traits in these characters, I began to notice similar attributes in myself, and this is where the sort of realization began. I wanted to never give up. I wanted to face my fears with a smile like these characters did. These characters that I grew up with did things like this.
Until I become Hokage, I don't care what happens, I am not gonna die!
I think it's so embedded in my mind, I feel like I've subconsciously internalized these attitudes and behaviors in the way that it's expressed in my own day-to-day behavior. I can be pretty flamboyant, I can be pretty crazy, I can be pretty over the top, but I do feel like I get a lot of these traits from characters that I've seen.
For a piss, yeah, going to the tree, smoking it too. One for me, I one for you.
Perfect.
In the shed. Let's go.
Still to this day, I gradually accumulate loads of songs I get from animes, and I've remembered them, memorized them to this day. And obviously they're speaking Japanese and words I don't even understand, but I don't even care. I love the way it sounds, and I probably sound like an idiot singing along to it because I'm singing all these random words in a language I don't know. But I love it, and I really can't see a day where I'm gonna stop. I mean, I'm 22 right now, and I honestly can't see where I'm gonna stop. If I stop, I stop, but I'm loving it so far. I'm sure I'm not the only one that still loses it to this day when we see Rock Lee drop his weights. But why do we love that scene so much? I've really thought about it, and I came to a conclusion. It's not just because it's cool, it's because we see Rock Lee in ourselves. We've all felt left behind, lost, and underestimated. We've all been told that our dreams are crazy and impossible. We have all felt like losers. When Rock Lee dropped those weights, he told the Rock Lee in all of us that we can still achieve great things even against insurmountable odds. I believe for these reasons, Rock Lee struck a chord with us, and that's why he's a fan favorite when it comes to Naruto characters. Those of you who know me know that I was that kid running down the halls doing the Naruto run. I wanted to be like him. This even extended to the point where even for my dissertation, which is a undergrad thesis for you guys across the pond, I wanted to make my project on how anime promotes positive behavior in young children, especially boys. And in hindsight, it might have been a better idea than what I did.
Tell me what you're doing here.
Let's flip a coin. Heads I tell you, tails we go out on a date.
A character that still inspires me to this day is Yusuke Urameshi from Yu Yu Hakusho. His confident and cocky demeanor showed me that laughing in the face of danger and adversity requires true strength. So much so that this guy is still my profile picture on Instagram to this day. Haters gonna hate. And I'd really like to make a video on Yu Yu Hakusho soon because I don't feel like I've touched on it enough for an anime sort of channel. I do love that. It is probably my favorite shonen. Usually you wouldn't expect a stereotypical character to be an interesting one. That could be true, but it's the shonen protagonist stereotype that has molded some of my personal character traits to this day. There's been one consistent congruent message which has been channeled through these spiky haired dudes. And I think this message gives shonen animes more of a very clear identity, which is why it's so iconic. And as a result, I think it's better off because of that. Never give up. Never give in. Never let adversity get the better of you. Be yourself and always push forward towards your dreams. These are the ideals that anime protagonists have instilled in me, and maybe others across the world, I'm sure. there's been many. For the majority of my life, I would say that I don't personally feel like I put a lot of interest on how others perceive me. And ironically, I think this stemmed from my interest in anime. For a bit of context, I'd say that anime today is a behemoth in Western culture. And I would definitely say that it's become mainstream. Some of you may disagree. I'd say it's thanks to things like Netflix, lo-fi, hip-hop beats, culture, and even rappers like XXXTentacion.
Look at me, fuck on me.
Rest in peace. But back when I was growing up, the same really couldn't be said. I was picked on as a kid and a young teen for liking this medium. Back then, it wasn't popular. It was a niche, and a lot of people found it to be weird, and it still is weird, but weird in the way that is less endearing. At first, I'd go at length to hide such a fact about myself. I would openly say that I grew out of it, or in some cases, denied it entirely. In time, I accepted that I love this stuff. All of it, and I didn't care what they say because I would Rasengan them in the face.
Damn, it feels good to be a gangster.
As I so eloquently used to say. As funny and silly as this whole thing sounds, it actually helped me to grow my own self-esteem because I took more pride in the things that I liked, not the things that other people liked. And I loved every second of it. And this really helped to boost my own confidence. No longer did I care what others thought because I found people that would love and accept me for who I was. And those people are still a part of my life today. Shout out to you wastemen! Yeah, anime can be cliche and repetitive, but being able to face obstacles and grow from them is what life is all about, in my opinion anyway. And no other medium teaches these sort of lessons in this sort of format. Not as much as anime does. Let's go back to Yu Hakusho again. Look at Yusuke. His mother is an unemployed alcoholic due to his father leaving at a young age and her having Yusuke at a young age. A single mother. As a result, he skips school and acts up because of his difficult home life. I'm sure there are plenty of young men out there, or even women, that can relate to this guy's story, this guy's struggle, because they could be in a similar situation. But despite this, Yusuke is misunderstood and has a good heart. He saves a kid crossing the street, sacrificing his own life. He has the choice to come back to life, but he refuses because he genuinely believes that he is a burden to others, and that no one will miss him because he's just a waste of space. Because he's a ghost though, he witnessed his own wake and saw his mother cry her eyes out. And even his principal being distraught at the loss of potential, knowing that deep down Yusuke was a good guy and he had a lot going for him. He just had to try harder.
So surprised, Yusuke, to hear you'd saved a kid at the cost of your own life. You've always acted much more selfishly than that. Darn. Yusuke, I don't know why I don't feel like speaking well of you. Why didn't you stay? You could have made something great out of yourself.
Amongst this, there are many other examples of how anime characters can be excellent role models. Anime in childhood is a really big one for me, and I'm sure it's the same for a lot of you lot out there. As we know, developmental psychology is the study of the mind and psychology in childhood. And an overwhelming amount of research shows that our minds are the most influenced during childhood. We're more of a blank slate, as you can imagine. And these things carry over into our adult lives, which is why if you have a shitty childhood, you're less likely to be a more functioning adult in the future. Like it or not, children seek role models to model their behavior in the most appropriate way. It's evolutionary. If they don't have any physical ones, they'll find ones in the media or find one in anime to look up to. From my personal experience, a lot of it came from Naruto. Funny as it sounds, right? I mean, it's quite evident from the amount of videos I put up talking about Naruto. Sometimes I felt like an outsider to my peers in primary school because I felt like I was genuinely not good at anything. And characters like Rock Lee, they embody this idea to the highest degree. I'm pretty sure people in handicap positions can relate to him even more than I could. Rock Lee was unable to perform ninjutsu or genjutsu, pretty basic ninja arts in the world of Naruto, which you can probably relate to cognitive skills in the real world, or even being able to perform basic tasks. Only through sheer hard work and effort though was Lee able to overcome this handicap by making his taijutsu so great that he didn't need the other things to be great. He overcame his handicap and became the legendary character that he is and still is in the fandom. Again, using a bit of my degree to help push my point forward. In psychology, there exists two mindsets in which can stem from childhood, according to Dweck. These are called the fixed and growth mindset. If one believes their skills, abilities, intelligence, etc. cannot be changed, one has a fixed mindset. Whereas those who believe nothing is truly static and everything can be changed and be somewhat malleable, these people have a growth mindset. Take a child receiving a test score back. Being the parent or the caregiver, you have a choice of various different forms of praise. There can be many variants of these two types of answers. So response A would be, well done, you're so smart. Or response B, well done, you must have worked really hard. Each response, if reinforced enough, can actually induce the development of a particular mindset. Response A would be a fixed mindset. The idea that everything is as is and results are already a result of existing talents and prerequisites. And response B would be the growth mindset. The idea of constant progression, where failures are a result of not enough effort or force to achieve the desired outcome. In effect, anything is possible. Where am I going with this? Well, Rock Lee had a growth mindset due to the mentors and the mindset that he actually had, his own thought process. He wanted to be recognized as someone who could beat talent by working really hard, and he achieved it. This was the message that myself and many other children across the world internalized, and hopefully applied in their own lives. It's hard to know if I would be better or worse, obviously, if I didn't have anime in my life or I never experienced any of this medium, because obviously I can never truly know. Is it a case that I had these pre-existing traits within me and anime just kind of brought them out? Or did the anime give me a better understanding of these traits and make me want to become more like the characters? It's a classic cause and effect dilemma, the chicken and the egg. Even if it's not true, it's undeniable that these shows have had a positive effect on me based on what I've said. And if not just me, people all over the world. There's a reason why it's become mainstream and more popular, why people love it. It's one of my favorite forms of escapism, because I love the way the characters look, sound, and the way they behave, and all the stories that they're a part of. At least in my opinion, I think it's best to live life never giving up, and striving to achieve what you set yourself by overcoming adversity and obstacles that life throws at you, because as we all know, there's a lot of them. Things can happen when you least expect it. It's these testosterone-fueled adventures that really serve as inspiration for my own life. I love this medium, and I would love to jump back into it again more by watching the newer shows. Obviously, I need to catch up on My Hero Season 4. I need to watch Demon Slayer, Darwin's Game. There's plenty of different things I could really be watching. But I just don't really prioritize it like I used to, but that is going to change soon. My favorite anime character is probably the man, the myth, Lelouch himself. Lelouch Lamperouge. Lelouch v Britannia. I've learned from Lelouch that no matter how crazy or unrealistic a goal seems, as long as you have the vision and the actual conviction to see it through, anything is possible. Even changing the world. As wishy-washy as this sounds, those who have watched Code Geass will know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you want to know why you should watch it, check out my video from 2014 detailing just that. I really enjoyed making this video and sharing my personal experiences, because I do love expressing myself in that way and sharing all my thoughts with you guys. Despite me not being as active of an anime watcher as I once was, it really has impacted my life in a positive way. It has taught me a lot of positive life lessons, like believing in my own self, never giving up, and smiling in difficult times. Future or not, these characters that I grew up with will always be a part of me and who I am. I've been SirLantz, and thanks for watching.
It's open season and I'm out for the kill. Adrenaline pumping through my veins, now I'm feeling the thrill. Call me Itachi, you won't see me. Tsukuyomi. Undeniable.